everyone, and welcome to Art Journal Sunday Prompts. Today I'm going to talk about journeys, and particularly my analogy of life in a bus journey. And it's interesting, I just read this little blurb on Facebook, and it's pretty close to what I've always thought, but somebody had done it with a train journey. But it basically all means the same thing. So I'm going to work on computer paper, and then I'm going to glue it down here afterwards. So I'm just going to grab a couple of sheets, and then I will cut it. I wish computer paper fit like this, do you know what I mean? So you could just use it as one sheet, but I will just lay it down there and just trace around it with the pencil and cut those sheets out to fit. And prior to videotaping, I sprayed some, what is this stuff? Grunge board letters. You see that pretty hot pink? And actually, it's this bubblegum delusion spray, and I sprayed it, and then I dabbed it, and I love like the graffiti look on this napkin because it's yellow. Looks really cool, so I'm sure I'll use that for something else. So away from the yellow, it is exactly true to the color. You can see it's on my hand, and there's the letter. Okay, so I'll be using those. I just want to make sure they were all dry. So I'm going to get my pages cut, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to play with some pan pastels today. This one is called Hansa Yellow Shade. This one is called Ultramarine Blue. And this pretty green is called Chrome Oxide Green. So I'm going to use those three colors today. These are the lovely pan pastels that Sue here on YouTube sent me, and I'm so excited to play with them. So when you're working with pan pastels, from my understanding and from what I saw, you can use this pad, and if you wipe it off on a paper towel, I'm just going to use the remnants of that napkin. So if you wipe it like that, even if it's got color on it, you can reuse it in color, and it's not going to transfer the color. So I'm going to give that a try and see how that works. So I'm marking on my page here, so it'll be the same if I start with the bottom part. It'll be the same on both pages because I'm just going to do one at a time. So I'm going to take the blue for the sky and just rub it in the pan pastel, and then just swipe it across the top. And what's really cool about this is I forgot something really important. I want to use masks. So I'm going to put some of these, using these kind of masks. This one's a gear. I'll put that right here on this page. And this mask here, I just kind of want them all over, you know. And this one here. And then I do have a compass one. It's a little tinier one. And I will put that compass up here, kind of, sort of half. There, now I will start with the pan pastels. I forgot all about my masks. So just rub those in. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about, my sister and I were going to see Oprah Winfrey, a few years back. And as it turned out, my sister's first husband had just passed away. I think I've told some of you this before. But anyway, I'll tell the story again. So we went to a Live Your Best Life workshop with Oprah in Seattle. So we flew to Vancouver, and then we took a bus, which we often do because the bus ride's not that long. Took a bus from Vancouver right to Seattle. Well, when we got on the bus, we met the most lovely two men that, I could ever even tell you. I swear that we would be lifelong friends if we were going in the same direction. One of them was coming down from the North Pole, and he was carrying on his journey and going to, I think he said Colorado or somewhere. The other one, interestingly enough, had been on Oprah, which was so funny, the fact that we were going to see Oprah. He was the fellow who had lost all that weight, and she gave him a car years ago. So we laughed and giggled and just had the most fabulous time all the way to Seattle. We parted and said our farewells, and I know I'll never see them again. Never again. And the same thing happened to me when I was going to meet my sister. My mom and my other sister and I were all going to meet my sister in Vegas. I know some of you saw that video a couple years ago. And I happened to sit beside these two people on the airplane. One of them, I'm just taking the mask off here. The compass one is off. And the other gear one fell off, so you can see this one is still on. So you pull it off, can you see? Isn't that cool? I love masks. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other sheet of paper. Do you see how the pan pastels so quickly blend so fast? I sat beside these two people. One of them, he creates like supplements for ailments, and the other girl was traveling from Australia, had to go through Vancouver and then sort of a roundabout way to get to Las Vegas, where she was going to be a personal trainer. And you know, when we landed in the airport, I felt so close to those people that we hugged each other goodbye, and we were tearful. And that flight from Los Angeles to Las Vegas is only maybe an hour long, but just in that short little time, that is how close and connected we got. And you know, when I was trying to explain that to my children, when I was using it as an analogy as to that bus trip and that plane trip and any journey you go on is very much like life. We can have connections with people. They can be very brief, very long. They can be those were almost instantaneous. But yet at some point on our own personal journey, people have to get off the bus and carry on their journey, because we all have a different purpose in life. We all have a different journey. We all have a different reason for being here. And excuse my voice, I've got a little bit of a cold. It's most difficult to understand when, and as it has been for myself, when I've had friends that I would call like bosom buddies, like, you know, just dear, really close friends. And then for no apparent reason, this has happened to me twice, absolutely no apparent reason, from nothing that I could have determined that I did, I never talked to them again. They didn't call, they didn't return my phone calls. It was two separate people, two separate incidences. And it troubled me for so long. I mean, it ate me up. I was like, what did I do? What did I do? Did I hurt them? And like, for me, if I've done something to you, just tell me. And then I can try to rectify the wrong, because I would never want to intentionally hurt anybody. If I said something that I was unintentional, then I'll apologize for it. I wrote letters to one of the lady saying exactly that. If I only knew what it was, still nothing. Then I realized that was her stop to get off the bus. Much like those people I met, and it was a wonderful experience, it was time for them to carry on their destiny. I turned left, she turned right. And it really had nothing to do with me at all. It was her destiny, both of those people in my life, it was their time to carry on with their life. It was just as simple as that. You see that? So sometimes we put so much stress on ourselves, like, I don't understand, what did I do? Why aren't they talking to me anymore? And we always think it's something we did. Always, because we always give the least amount of credibility to ourselves, however sad that is. And as I get older now, you know, there is something to be there. There is truth in that statement, older and wiser, because you start to realize, you know what, I'm being the best me I can be. I'm being my true self. I'm honest. And if somebody does something to upset me, then I tell them. And I would expect nothing but that back. And if you're not capable of giving me that or doing that, then maybe it is time that you carry on your way. But I was not that wise back then. And I'm telling you, I am not afraid to admit I lost sleep over it. I was like sick, like, what did I do? And I know I may have art journaled this before, but I just feel it's so important because I know there's people out there that think, you know, I did everything for this person. I was their friend, and they don't talk to me anymore. And I don't understand it. But if you can look on it like a journey, like your life is your bus journey is life, that inevitably, no matter who it is, even if it's family, sometimes we have people die, and that's where their journey ends with us. People, you know, don't speak to family members anymore, but it's all about destinations and journeys. And if you ever can look at an air controller's map, you know, when they're following all the planes in the sky, and you see all the different destinations there are to go, and where people get off and catch their next connecting flight, and sometimes you'll meet up with some people like I did that were absolutely magnificent, but you know you're never going to see them again. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Well, our life journeys are just like that. Imagine all the billions of souls out there who all have a different journey in life. We weren't all put on this planet to do the exact same things or go in the exact same direction. So if you lose contact or direction with somebody, if you've tried to reconcile it and they are willing to reconcile it, just let it go and just know that they're on their journey. And be thankful for having met them. Be thankful for whatever lesson you learned from them, because I believe that no matter what the experience, there's always a lesson in it for us, or we would have never had them in our life. They came in our life to give us a message or to teach us a lesson. Sometimes you may have yourself realize that it's time to kind of move on from a friendship. I just had a conversation with somebody on the TV set when I was working. It was an old friend of mine, and she was acting there, and we were just talking about somebody, and she was saying, you know, I no longer communicate with that individual. And I said, oh, how come? And she said, you know, it just got to the point where I just had no more to say. And I thought, how profound. Like I had no more to give, no more to say, no more to offer. And I knew it was time for me to just carry on with my life, you know. And if we could just look at our life that way and not be so hard on ourselves, thinking it's something we did that created this, the reason people don't talk to us has to be something we did. And it's usually has nothing to do with you at all. So that's why I wanted to art journal this page. But I don't want my bus to be a school bus. I want it to be like a Greyhound bus or something. So I think I'm going to use the gelatos and see if they will color my bus. Maybe I'll use silver and color up my bus a little bit, and maybe put a red line down through there. Went ahead and adhered my page down with my ATG gun. Got some Daisy Fuentes hairspray, that I use in my craft room, got at the dollar store. So I will just, because it's just a good fixative as those more expensive ones. So we'll just let that dry. So now what I'm going to do for my road, I'm going to use text for my road. So just grab a book. My mom just gave me this book yesterday. So I'm going to tear out some of the pages because I like it because it's older and it's got the darker pages. Okay, so let us see. Here's my bus colored. And I kind of want my bus to be going uphill instead of down. I'll have my bus go this way on its journey. And so what I will do is just glue, I'm going to take this part off. So you can see I'm just tearing. This text is beautiful because it's so old. I mean, it has its pros and cons, but for something like this, it's great because it just tears so beautifully. So I think I will make my road kind of go like so and like so. So I will go ahead and get this glued down. So I added my road and I put a little road stamp down the middle of it there. And then I just had some Distress ink left on this sponge on my desk. So I went all around the page and on the road to yellow it up some more. Then I put my bus on top of some cardboard because it was just computer paper. It was so flimsy. So I've got some foam tape here on the back and I'm just going to glue my old bus on the back here with this foam tape and push it down on the road. It's so funny. I was about to put it down. I'm like, yeah, Monica, it needs to be on the road. You can't have your bus. Now, if you people are having analogies about buses flying through the sky, that's a whole nother art journal page. You know what I'm saying? So there is my bus on the road, the journey of life. People get on, people get off. I've got a hello, my name is tag, and I distressed it and tore it. And I'm just going to put that somewhere on the page. Because, you know, you'll get on the bus and you say hello and you introduce yourself. Through life, there's people you're going to meet that you will introduce yourself to, whether they stay with you or not. I have a whole bunch of journal tags. This one says, what did you think you would be when you grew up? And so I'm going to glue, I'm actually going to take this, it's sticky, it's a sticker. And I'm just going to kind of grunge it up with my finger a little bit and just put that down, just down here. You can't really see. I'll zoom up on the camera a bit so you can see. You can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So I've got that there. Who influenced you the most in your life? So I'm just crumpling them all up. I haven't even dipped these in the Distress ink. That just shows you how much product we leave on our stuff, hey? And I'll just grunge it, and I'm just going to put that here, and the end is coming off the page here, if you can see that. So I'm just going to tear it right off the page. There we go. And then I will just ink that up a little bit too. This one's a good one. Tell me about your happiest memory, your saddest memory, funny story, embarrassing moment. So this might be somewhere where I could journal about how sad I felt when certain people left me, that I don't understand why, and just all three of these tags are about life. So can you see how I'm sort of intermingling them in like that? Okay. And again, I will just tear this out, and I will fill that in later on for myself to do. So the last thing I'm going to do is add those really pretty pinky letters. And it just says bus trip called life. So I'm just going to take this December sort of a time thingy, I don't even know what it is, And I'm going to cut it off because I don't want you to see that it's December. So just so that it looks like this, and it's not even that straight. Try and do it a little straighter, not that it has to be straight. And then I'm going to use this little tiny miniature label punch. I'm just going to turn it over. I just want it to look like it's been perforated along the bottom, you know, like I pulled it out of a book or a journal or a notepad or something. And I'm going to grunge it up and write the date on it. I do have a date stamp, but it's never handy, so I never use it. I'll just cut that piece off. And then I'll just put it up here with a couple of paper clips. And also I wanted to say, you know how I was saying it was so hard for me to not have any closure, not know why this happened to these people, although I'm understanding and still learning. I think I'm going to use this clip instead because I can't get those little paper clips to work, and this adds a little bit more color. But if you are the person that is one that is not explaining why you've left somebody, or just, you know, you're the one who's left the bus, then perhaps if you can find it within you just to let that person know why, or even at the very least, like my friend said, I just have nothing more to say. That would be outstanding for the person on the other end. You know, I just don't have anything else to say. I'm done. We're done. Like, I wish you all the best in life, but I have nothing more to say. Or if the person has hurt you in some way, tell them. And then you can still go on your own separate ways. I think I'm going to add a little pink flower somewhere up in here just to bring the pink over. So here is my finished page. Bus trip called life. There's my bus. I put some little kind of stickly stuff on the headlights so when it dries it'll be like hardened, glossed over little headlights. And my road of text. In our journey of life, we come across, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Tell me about your memories, who influenced you the most. You meet people on the road, and it takes days and days of what we call our life. So this is just a simple analogy. It doesn't have to be a bus. It could be a plane, or it could just be your life's journey. But just know that people are going to walk in your life, walk out your life. Some stay for just a few hours, like those people I met on that bus trip and on the plane trip. Some stay forever and ever and ever. Some have wonderful things to bring us. Some have things that aren't so wonderful. But I really do believe everybody we encounter in life is bringing us a message. And when they just haven't got any more to say, they're gone. And it isn't necessarily something you did. And if it is something you did and you need to apologize to somebody, find it within your heart to do so. It doesn't mean that anything changes. It just means you're saying you're sorry. But move on from that. Don't live with a whole bunch of, oh, gee, I shouldn't have done that to that person. So I can't. Some people don't contact people because they feel like they've done something to someone to hurt them or whatever, and they don't have the courage to say, you know what, I'm sorry I did that, or I'm sorry I said that, I didn't mean to, whatever. So then the friendship just ends there when it doesn't have to. It doesn't hurt to say you're sorry. But it has happened to me, and I'm okay with it now. Once I understand and I use the analogy of the bus trip, I've got lots of places to go on my journey. I'm going to meet lots of new people, and I hope I get to meet some of you guys on my route through life. And so just don't be so hard on yourselves when somebody just decides that they just have no more to say. So that's my page for today. I sure had fun playing with those pan pastels. Aren't they cool? I love them, and they don't cut like, well, I sprayed it so it isn't coming off. My hands are so dirty you couldn't tell anyway. But I really, really like them. So thanks so much, Sue, for those. They're lots of fun. So we'll see you guys all next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.